We're built in 2005, although we were in Linda Vista for a good almost 50 years prior to that. It sits on 54 acres and consists of 10 buildings totaling 250,000 square feet, including a chapel, theater, and gym. We have over 1,600 students and 175 faculty and staff. That really doesn't say too much about the school itself. We have over 42 different sports that are played on campus, so the campus actually runs as a mini college, minus the dorms. So there's a lot going on campus Monday through Friday, sometimes Saturday and Sunday if you include parochial sports. Our sustainability definition: Cathedral Catholic views sustainability as the take nothing and leave only footprints approach to help further our teachings of finding God in everything we do while continuing our Catholic faith. One of the things that the school actually, and you'll see in the next slide, our school prayer, it says, build the kingdom, live the call. Veni Sancte Spiritu, come Holy Spirit. And that's what we're trying to entail the sustainability movement on campus, is to help build the kingdom, not only for us, not only for the kids, but the future children that will be coming to Cathedral Catholic. Our vision and mission: Cathedral Catholic High School, we have come to the realization that sustainability coincides with the teaching of our Catholic Church. And our community prayer: Lord Jesus Christ, let my gifts change the world. Help us live the call, build the kingdom. Veni Sancte Spiritus. In a nutshell, right there. And I know, Elizabeth, you had mentioned one of our previous, I think it was our first one, where creation hasn't stopped. And that's important that we continue to move towards that, because creation hasn't stopped. It's what we take from it. We have to replenish it. And that's what we're trying to do as a whole on our campus. Our big goals: reduce energy for lighting by 50% throughout campus. We have a number of initiatives that we're trying to get pushed through. Fortunately, we're using 2005 technology, which was cutting edge 10 years ago. So we're a little bit ahead of the game compared to some of the schools that are on this circle. So we're trying to improve that even further if we could. Reduce water consumption by 40%. As you'll see in future slides, that we have cut our water consumption considerably since the beginning of this program. Increase recycling by 70%. We already have a recycling program on campus with our environmental science club, and the kids want to actually increase that. So I think that we can get that done with the new partnership we created with a new waste management company that we're using. And another thing that we really wanted to strive for is to become national leader among Catholic high schools for Stewardship and Sustainability Circle. That's one thing that we strive for. We want to be the leaders in athletics, and we also want to be leaders in education, and we want to be leaders for stewardship and sustainability. Our business case: by investing in sustainable practices, it will help us reduce our dependency on the environment, thus potentially saving the campus thousands of dollars. Included in this are introducing sustainability into the curriculum, working with our vendors to supply green materials. We've already had that done. We're moving more towards green. We've already got our chemicals that are green. Our paper towels are 30% post-consumption. So we're moving towards that. We want to even further that. The way we wax our floors or finish our floors: zero chemicals, just water and a rough, they call it an SPP pad, where we scrub it, it scratches the surface, it's water that can be flushed down the drain, and then we throw our wax on top of that, nice shine, and you wouldn't even tell that we did it with no chemicals. Retaining and attracting the proper talents for building the proper sustainability program. Although I have the experience in sustainability, we need to incorporate that with teachers who can go out there and teach sustainability, build it as a science. That also entails introducing sustainability into our curriculum. If we can get that into our curriculum, it'll further entice kids who want to move towards sustainability in college and earn UC credits. And next thing you know, they'll be the ones that are telling us what to do on our campus. Our objectives: Reducing the energy in our classrooms by 54% by switching to LED. So I'm shooting for 50%, but with the lighting retrofit that I'm working on, it'll actually increase that by 54%. Increase recycling by 20%. We're at 50 now, which is actually a city mandate. We're supposed to be recycling 50% of our trash. So we're at the northernmost part of the city, and we've already met the 50%, so we're trying to do 20% more if we could within the next few years. Turf over 90,000 square feet of grass to reduce water usage. Carpool more than 24 students with our school bus. Use green cleaning solutions throughout campus. Charging stations for use by staff vehicles as well as visitors. We have charging stations out in front of our administration building. Currently it's used by staff, but we want to entice visitors to come use our charging stations. If students have electric vehicles, do something where we can incorporate that to where they get preferred parking to park there and charge for a certain amount of time. At lunch, go back out and move it to your proper parking spot because you're already charged. Accomplishments and recognitions. We've already formed a CCHS Green Team. It includes myself, president and principal, and other staff members. We've completed a synthetic turf project of over 90,000 square feet of grass on campus. We've installed purified water stations on campus. And we've also recycled our cooking oil so it could be reused as biodiesel fuel. And their gym light retrofit was completed. One thing about the purified stations that you'll see in future slides is before there was only 7 Sparklets units on campus. We've now increased that to over 16 water filling stations, and we're still about $1,000 under what we pay annually for Sparklets. And what that does is it actually puts it out for every kid to have purified water versus going to a drinking fountain. Does it increase our water consumption? Yes, but it's offset with the turf replacement that we've done. So our portfolio of initiatives for short term, press release of our gym lighting. It was just done over spring break. We're working with SDG&E on getting that press release out so that way we can tout that we've got it done. Get info out on savings of turf replacement. Tell the kids, show the kids. They're already using it, but they don't know the exact amount of water we've saved and what it actually all entails. Behavior and cultural change. Teach the students and staff about new turf practices. What's allowed on the turf, what's not allowed on the turf. One of the funny things is yesterday we were testing sprinklers and the kids, why are you watering turf fields? Well, the turf that we have, we call it our grassy knoll. It has organic, it's cork and coconut husks. You have to keep that wet, or else if it's not wet, it'll dry up and it looks like there's nothing, like the fibers are actually matted down. So every day or every other day for about one cycle of your sprinkler, you're supposed to turn on the water and let it wet, and actually it expands and those fibers start to stand up. So we told them this is what we're doing. And they're like, oh wow, and if you go to this turf versus the football field or the multi-purpose field, it's actually 68 degrees cooler than playing on the rubber turf. So the kids are actually enjoying that, and you'll see in a couple slides. The proper use of water stations. Those little containers that are on the bottom, they're not for drains. A lot of kids were using those and we filled it up too much and we dumped a little bit out and then there's water all over the floor. So you have to change that practice. Business policy, include LED retrofit into future budgets. Instead of doing the whole campus, let's just do one building or one floor at a time. Promote the availability of our car chargers to students. Our energy resource management, replace gym lights, turf water reduction, increase our green clean. Our gym lighting, this is, if you look up to the far right, that's our LED side. And over here to the left, that's our CFL lighting. Well, they haven't done that yet. So you can see the contrast of how bright the gym is now. You can see, the cool thing about this now is that we're getting dimmers installed on this. So when we pull out our bleachers for a basketball game, we can almost shut off the light in the stands. So all that attention's focused right down onto our gym floor. So the kids get that feel of, being in a college arena or pros. We can also dim it to where we do an introduction for whatever sport it might be in there. For our rallies, we can dim it down and raise it up to where, and the kids are really liking this so far. They're just itching to get the word out, but again, we have to wait for our proper press release. But it reduced our kilowatt hours. It wasn't paid for by us, fortunately. It was a $40,000 project, and we were fortunate enough to partner with SDG and a vendor to get that completed for us. It's being monitored and recorded for a year, so we can see how much we have reduced, how much we're saving. Thus far, we've saved, with the compact fluorescent, so it's over 56,000 kilowatt hours that we're using for the gym. I got an email yesterday, we're at 28,000 kilowatt hours now. It's over half that we've saved. And what I did yesterday before I left was I looked, how much is the average kilowatt for a household? And with what we've saved, we were able to light 2.5 households for a year with just the few weeks that we've been there with this. So what they've done is we had 60 fixtures, and in those fixtures there was 8 compact fluorescent bulbs, 4 ballasts, so that's 480 CFLs that were in there. We installed 30 LED fixtures, and the other thing that we have that we can actually put out there once the press release comes, but because you guys are all here, we are actually the first gym in the U.S., high school gym in the U.S. to have such lighting. So that's excellent. I love that. Our turf replacement. Now, if you've been on our campus, obviously you guys have, but if you've seen our lower turf, that was all grass right there. And that gray on the upper part of it is actually an access road that is now graveled. That turf is 78,000 square feet. Well, we didn't add the road or the discus area, which is to the left of this picture. That's no longer grass. It's actually, DG and crushed rock. That's what the road's made of. But it reduces the spray lining of fields. So we're no longer lining our fields. You're putting out the aerosol cans. That's affecting our environment. The money was raised by donors, and they did, we'll raise X amount. The campus raises the other amount, and we'll get this done. So it was collaboration with us. We also worked with the Metropolitan Water District. We have a meeting on Monday about how much we are going to get, but it's over $2 a square foot. We're looking at possibly, if I crunch the numbers properly, we're looking to get a good amount to where this project almost pays for itself. So that's one of our turfs that we had done. This is our other turf. This is what they call the knoll. This is the organic matter that we use, organic infill. It's cork. The kids love it. This is before we actually had all the umbrellas put in. Now all the umbrellas are put on those concrete benches. Kids are bringing their lawn chairs. They're sitting back. They're actually enjoying it. Yesterday we had our Earth Day fair. They had a DJ up in the front where this picture was taken. We're also looking at using our theater so our students can go ahead and have little plays during lunch, or if a kid do an open mic lunch to where kids, if they have a band or something, they can go out there and play. And straight ahead, that concrete or that block wall right there is actually not completed yet, but what is going to go there is benching for everyone to sit there, and it's a bench, and it's also a memorial to alumni who went into the military and lost their lives, or parents of kids that were in the military lost their lives, and also for chaplains that are in the military. So that's actually a memorial as well. And part of that, one of our chaplains donated the wall and that plaque area. But the thing is, we're also allowing them to donate pavers. So if you donate X amount of dollars, you can get a paver depending on how much you donated, depends on the size of paver, and that'll actually help further pay down this debt that we just accrued. But it's over 11,000 square feet. Again, we saved on this one over 500,000 gallons a year on just this knoll. Again, if we go back and look at that, we saved 3.3 million gallons of water a year on just having this turfed. It'll increase once we calculate how much that back road is, but 4 million gallons almost a year in water savings. That's enough for over 23,000 households, which is that of a small city. So that's a lot of water savings, and I'm proud that we had this project going. I was the one that headed this up, because just the numbers alone is amazing. So our summary, gym lighting costs us $0. Annual cost savings is $10,000. That's not looking at how much electricity was used. That's what it cost us every year to buy bulbs and ballasts, every summer to relight that. So it's $10,000. The annual kilowatt therm savings, we're now at 28,000. We were at over 56,000 for the project. And that's not a behavioral change. Our lower turf, $750,000. That's how much it costs with us and our donors. Our annual savings is, just for that lower field, $20,000 a year in savings for water, saving 3.3 million gallons. Our knoll is $100,000. It saves us $3,000 a year in water, and that's also 500,000 gallons a year. Water stations that we had installed. Now the installation cost $2,200, but we're actually saving $1,700 a year. And with the fact that Sparklets is bringing the water bottles on campus, having to truck it, the plastic bottles, the CO2 emissions of those big trucks that they're driving, we no longer have to worry about that. We have it all filtered, it's all there. Does our water consumption increase? Yes, but you know what? The kids are happy, the kids are healthy, and with the water that we've saved, I think it will be okay. The car chargers, $9,000 it costs for us to install. $3,000 is what we're actually looking to save, and over 3 years we'll have it paid off. The good thing about this is that we do not pay for the energy used for that. Everyone who uses it has a little credit. It goes onto their credit card. So if you swipe your credit card in there, you're now being billed for however long it takes for you to charge your vehicle. And we can actually set the rates. So if we wanted to go ahead and set it for people in the neighborhood to come and charge, we can set it at a higher rate and we get a portion of that money. And if we want our staff members to pay, we can actually set it at the lowest level. So we're not making as much money on our faculty or staff. So that's an incentive in itself. And actually it's almost paid off. The chargers that we had, these have been here for a few years, but we just installed new ones this past winter. They actually went out of business, and they actually doubled the amount of what we were being charged. So we went to a new company, and that's where we struck that business to where we can set the rates and get the rebates back. And then also green cleaning. Now we spend $4,000 a month on our green clean. Is that a lot of money? Yes, especially for some of the smaller schools, it's a lot of money. But what it is it actually increases our employees' work style. It's getting done more efficiently. The equipment that we're using is actually high efficient. So when you're buffing a floor, when you're cleaning a carpet, you're plugging it in. You're not using the amount of power that you used with the old, rattling one that's humming so loud that you can't even hear someone talk next to you. So that actually, I'd rather pay that amount to help move towards our green cleaning. 30% post-consumption are chemicals that we use. You can almost drink, even though I don't recommend you do it, but you can almost drink. That's how environmentally friendly it is. I remember back in the day when I first started working at Cathedral, I would help the crew out in stripping floors, and my hands would start peeling the next day because the chemical was so abrasive. We no longer have to do that. 6 months to 2 years. Introduce St. Francis of Assisi Garden as a classroom. You guys made that tour when you were on our campus, and the goal is to actually make a classroom next year. Recycling know-how introduction. Help further our recycling. Show the kids how, paper plate, you know what, you can throw that in recycling instead of throwing it in the trash. It's not just plastic bottles or cans. Bus carpool preference. We have a bus on campus. It's not being utilized properly, but we have about 15 kids that can seat 36. So let's try to increase that. And also, if the kids are carpooling, let's put them up further towards the classrooms or towards the front of school. So that way they don't have far to walk. You know, we don't want to walk that far to class. You carpool, hey, guess what? You get to park in the first 6 rows. Everyone else can go ahead and park wherever they want to park because you're not carpooling. Looking at farm to table as a cultural change. We have a new food service company that's coming in. They love this idea. They will actually help invest in our farm to table and also help us with our composting and forgot what it's called, but I think it's where they take the paper and they recycle the paper, pulping. They'll also work with that for us. Get more of a student engagement so the kids know, they see what's going on and they can actually use that to put on their college applications. All our sprinklers are made to be micro sprinklered, so it's not watering as much as our old sprinklers, so it's microed. We had to add a little bit more to cover certain grounds, but with the amount of turf that we replaced, we don't have to worry about that for grass. It's more so in our planters. And then use compost for fertilizing purposes. St. Francis of CC Garden, we haven't really projected very much into it. A lot of the stuff was donated. Our planter boxes were donated. The wall that we have built was donated. RCP donated all the blocks, and then we had a parent who is a brick mason and said, I'll come out and get these blocks set up for you because I believe in what you guys are doing. So the carpool bus cost us $0, was donated. Now the $19,500 per person, that's what a person driving, and I just used random 26 miles, a little over 26 miles there, 26 miles back. So that puts us into the area of possibly St. Rita's, so we can get more kids to go there. $19,500 is what it costs to drive. That's the wear and tear on your vehicle a year. So that's money that someone can save and put it towards college tuition or something. Recycling program. We switched our vendors. We're now saving over $11,000, and they have a buy-in with the school. They are coming out this summer because we did it in the mid-school year. They're coming out this summer, and they're going to do a presentation to all our teachers on campus when they return for the school year, and say that this is how we're doing our recycling. Our regular size trash cans, a quarter of that should be trash. The rest of it is recyclable. And they're doing little add-ons onto our trash cans, so that way our trash can itself is about this big, and then the rest of that is actually recycled. So trying to get that going. 2 to 5 years, reduce kilowatt hours by installing LED lights in classrooms. Again, it's roughly, if we did all 90 classrooms, it's over $108,000 to get that done. We break it up per classroom, it's a little over $1,200 to get that done. So we can figure out how we're going to do that by including it into the budget. Inform teachers of LED use and savings. That'll help in the science department. Make it turn into a science. Give it a project to the kids. This is how much kilowatts we used. This is how much we're saving. Tell us how what goes into that process without having to go into reinventing the wheel. Continue the implementation of LED program on campus. Just because we did the gym, the classrooms, we still have to do outside lights. I believe that we win everything with LED as far as our lighting, then we can go ahead and fine tune it and then possibly use solar panel when our roofs are ready to be replaced. Because if, basically like putting having a Pinto engine and putting turbo in a Pinto engine. If you're not running efficiently, solar panel doesn't really do much for you. But if you're running efficiently, that solar panel will help you run even more lean. So single classroom, $1,200. Savings, it's $400 a year. Annual kilowatt savings is $1,563. If we did all 90 classrooms, it's $108,000, and then it's $36,000 that we'd be saving. And then look at the jump in how much we're saving annually in 90 classrooms. Metrics and evaluation. Measure the amount of electricity and water consumed monthly. The plan is to hold monthly meetings to discuss metrics with our leadership team. Every month we have a leadership meeting, and then weekly we have a leadership meeting, but it's only with the principal, president, dean, and myself. But monthly, all the departments come together. So if we get that, if we introduce those metrics monthly and I can tell them what we've been saving, it'll help push that information out there to get to the kids. Unfortunately, I'm not a teacher, so I'm sitting in my, I'm sitting as a director of facilities. So it's not my job to get that information to the kids. I rely on the teachers to get that information. Get updates monthly and report to the board members. We want to get our board members involved, detailing the progress of the initiatives using historical data. And by getting the board members involved, that'll help them push to get the donors that have donated historically to our campus to invest more into our school, as we've seen them invest in our school in the past. Distribution is campus-wide, externals board members. Obviously, the timing frames are kilowatt versus previous months, water consumption versus previous months. How much is our garden producing? And certain months, are our garden producing more or are they producing less? We want to keep it ramped up so that way we can feed 1,600 students daily. So that might mean that we either spread out our campus garden or look into vertical gardens to help teach the kids. Not only plants don't have to grow in dirt, they can grow in water, as well. So changing the aspect of how we're producing for the campus. Carpooling updates. Hey, we're at 15 this month. Let's try and increase it to 24, 36. Let's invest in another bus if we have to get more kids. It'll help increase the opportunity for other kids in the lower income neighborhoods to come to school at Cathedral. And then recycling versus previous months. Our financial plan, raising the awareness of our desire to become a more sustainable campus. It is important for us to realize our members who have donated or who are willing to donate towards our cause. While the campus will save money in regard to the improvements made, we also need to set aside a portion of the savings towards funding more projects such as the St. Francis of Assisi Garden and classroom lighting projects. In conclusion, the call to action at Cathedral Catholic High School is to live within our means while creating a sustainable future for all. Though this road may lead to many unforeseen challenges, it is the strength of our Catholic faith and community that will help us lessen our global footprint. Build the kingdom, live the call.